In case you haven't noticed, there's a culture war going on, and the spoils are the very minds of people we are trying to save. The war on the West is no longer about men or women. It's about the ideological subversion of Western minds by foreign actors cloaked in a public relations-friendly outfit called feminism. Join the fight against the destabilization of our very civilization by reading Surviving Fourth Wave Feminism. Learn some inconvenient truths by clicking on the link in the description, because every time you do, a pansexual non-binary socialist cries!
What's up, you boyish trash heaps? Terrence Popp here, Redonkulas.com. Bad Pop showed up because I got some bad news for Tammy or Tomi Lahren or whatever the hell her name is. Y'all know who she is, even if you don't know who she is. She broke into the limelight as a truth-talking conservative woman. And it doesn't hurt, I'm gonna say it right now, that she's more than a little easy on the eyes, if you know what I'm saying. But all of that money, fame, and attention seems to have short-circuited her thinking meat. And if you haven't seen the video of her hitting the self-destruct button of her own career, we're gonna cover it now. So please, pour yourself a menagerie and join me in a moment of prayer.
Dear God, please assist Miss Lahren in choosing the best camera angles for the sex tape she'll release just before her career crumbles into dust.
You know that's gonna happen, gentlemen. I'm calling it right now, and it'll be a great day.
I'll drink to that!
All right, cheers! Yeah. That's what she does for the first 8 seconds. We got a Walt Disney over here. What's up with that smart-ass expression and how she flicks her hair and head around?
Duh.
It's like she's physically trying to force a round into the chamber.
I'm gonna let you guys trickle in before I start talking, because this is important.
Important to who? Not me, even though I am making a fucking video about it.
Something, as of recently, has been on my mind, and I consider myself a teacher, a helper.
And you think the best way to go about that is with blame and shame? That's a good thing she's pretty and has writers working for her, because as you'll find out, thinking is not her strong suit.
This is a PSA for all the men out there, and all the boys who think they're men, but they're actually boys.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those days, huh? I need a drink.
This is gonna be the summer of canceling boys.
Since when did conservatives get on board with the whole cancel culture thing? I'm just asking for a friend.
Now, from my own personal experiences and the experiences of all of my friends, which range in age from 24 to 36.
So basically, your friends go from I still got plenty of time to bugs on the windshield. Got it.
All of my friends are attractive.
I'm listening.
All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on.
Forget it. You must be talking about that all-powerful career thing that was meant to fulfill your life. You know, that thing that the wage gap enthusiast told you would increase your value on the dating market? How the hell is that working out for you?
Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
Of course, in that stupid-ass equation, we men, well, we must be the problem, right? It couldn't be that hypergamy is to blame, right? Because that would mean that you would have to take responsibility for the dating market that women created.
These women range in every body type and everything. They're all successful, they're all intelligent, they're all good people.
According to you, and you're not exactly the most reliable source.
But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us.
Nothing drives me to drink faster than a can't understand normal thinker who will ask and answer her own question and not even realize it. Let me boil it down for you, and then I'm gonna throw those wet noodles right in your face. Men do not care how successful you are or how intelligent you are.
As long as you can hold a conversation and not make us want to go Fulci on our own eye sockets, that's all we need.
A successful woman is nothing more than a monkey branching risk. By their very nature, when choosing a man, women want to upgrade. The more successful you are, the more successful the man has to be. When you're worth $3 million like Miss Lahren here, that's some slim pickings. Great actor, bad for dating. I'm sorry, baby, but the math does not work in your favor, and you all out there know how much I love math. Math doesn't have a bias, and it sure as hell doesn't care about your feelings, kind of like me. Screen 5. And when the system is rigged against the same men that you want to marry, you don't just need luck. You need Jesus, because only the Hail Mary maneuver will save you. We have 3 full-grown generations of men out there who were raised in broken homes. They have seen the carnage unfold through their fathers and grandfathers alike.
You really think top-shelf dudes are gonna jump on a roller coaster that flies off a cliff into a pit of despair full of broken beer bottles, hypodermic needles, alimony, and child support?
Sounds like San Francisco, Screen 5. When 80% of divorces are filed by women, you have to be suicidal to take that ride. Ladies, women created this problem and you really don't get to bitch about it.
It might be you. It might be men.
Nope, not even a little bit. Women control the dating market from 18 to 30, lock, stock, and barrel. But once they hit the wall, that control lands firmly in the laps of men. And if they're lucky, it's 24 and Filipina, or maybe Latina, if you know what I mean. Winning. So could it be that men aren't the problem?
Could it be you're having that early epiphany that your power is on the verge of being shut off faster than a Los Angeles house party?
And for the sake of argument, I'm gonna guess that this really is pissing you off. Because when you live a life of power over men, all of a sudden equality feels like oppression. Wah.
It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country. And the age range of about 20 to I think about 55, maybe even 60. A lot of men are trash.
And you would think you can actually blame men for this, huh? Survey says 3 generations of men raised, taught, and manipulated by women. We now have a bunch of Build-A-Bear dudes who should be exactly what women want. But instead you have a whole cesspool of soy boys who haven't been inside a woman since they were born. Screen 5. The rest of the dudes, you know, the ones that were raised with fathers, well, they have all the options. And you're just angry because they are not picking you. You want what you cannot have, and when that happens enough times, you talk trash about it so, you know, you don't come across as hopeless and pathetic. Every single time women like Tommy back there say men aren't feces, you know what's going on. That is a woman at the end of the Rooster roller coaster, and Prince Charming, well, he's nowhere to be found.
A lot of men don't know how to really, quite frankly, pull their heads out of the sand and pay attention. So I am going to help you.
Shame in the form of help never helped anyone except people trying to lose weight, huh, Space Ghost?
I'm just going to lay a few things out. They haven't all happened to me. Some of them have just happened to my friends. A lot of them have happened to me.
Eyewitness accounts are always the most reliable, right? Hands up, don't shoot. Bad form, Space Ghost.
If you like a girl, if you're even somewhat interested in a girl, you need to ask yourself this question. Are you single? That is the first question, believe it or not, that needs to be asked. And ladies, you should be asking it, because in 2020, it's not a given anymore that a guy that's actively pursuing you is actually single.
And guess what, baby? The sexes are equal, Screen 5. But let us wander off the beaten path to hypothetical land for a moment. Let's say you walk into one of those magical all-you-can-eat buffets in Vegas. Are you going to be satisfied with macaroni and cheese with cut-up hot dogs in it with a glass of milk? Of course you're not. You might try it along with everything else in the buffet. You know, there'll be Mexican and Asian and maybe some stuff from, England or Australia. You're eating all that shit, I'm just saying. When you're a top-tier dude in the fallout shelter of today's dating market, that's exactly what it's like. A majority of women eliminate 86% of the men from their dating pool based on one thing: height. But remember, dudes, we're the shallow ones, right? Space Ghost. Of the remaining 14%, even less make over six figures and are above average in looks. That leaves roughly, I'm being optimistic here, 5%. That means every top tier dude with the mark of the beast has 20 women to choose from.
And even when you eliminate possibilities based on looks, weight, fertility, and attitude, that would still leave you roughly 40% of women.
So that means there are 8 quality women for every single top tier dude. May the odds be ever in your favor. Cheers.
With social distancing regulations in effect all over the country, you can't spend all day on Pornhub. So in between those fapping sessions, expand your mind with Uncle Nick. A 30-something bachelor in the jizz-soaked shores of California, he's probably the only guy left there who hasn't banged Amy Horton. His panache for public intoxication makes him the perfect Redonkulas companion during this quarantine. Because you wouldn't want to be seen with this guy outside of your home, even if you could. Download your copy on Amazon today. A link is in the description.
There is not a woman out there that wants to be your pen pal.
I have to agree with you, but it's still all your fault, and I made a video about it. Links in the description. When you have a bunch of meow mix whip dudes running around in the age of Me Too, can you blame them for being a little scared?
She doesn't want to get your texts, your good morning texts, your good night texts, your random through the day texts, if they don't follow up with a plan to actually, here's the kicker, in person, hang out.
Wow. Amy, one else out there having some deja vu?
I'm just so done with this shit. Like, at least have the courtesy to plan a date. It doesn't have to be fancy, but like, set a freaking day and time and place. It's not that hard.
After listening to these two oatmeal cream pies screeching like rusty rotors, it may never be hard again.
Dudes, don't get me wrong. You do have to have a plan. If you want to go spelunking all the way down in those fun dark caverns, well, it's not going to happen with VR goggles. It might look the same, but it just feels wrong, if you know what I mean. Hey, it's the lefty kind of day, Screen 5.
No.
What? I watched it.
Yeah, fuck
All right, fuck you. Unless you're a MGTOW dude and you swore all this shit off, you're just going to have to take the risk. Because time equals money, risk equals reward. Just remember to protect your investment, if you know what I mean.
Women do not want a pen pal.
It is much less patronizing when you hit the table every other syllable, because that's not going to get annoying.
We don't want a texting pal. We quite frankly don't care if you text us all day or if you don't text us at all. If you're not going to make a plan to actually see us in person, not interested.
Well, if he's not making a plan to see you in person, guess whose personality didn't make it past the sniff test, weh? You gotta pass the sniff test to, pass the sniff test, if you know what I mean. But don't you dare get caught doing it, because it leads to problems, and I made a whole video about it. Links in the description.
Make a plan.
She's doing it again. What is that, Morse code? Why do you keep doing that?
And what better way to convince us that you're being totally rational and logical and not emotional at all, right? Yeah, you're just trying to help. And if it happens to fill your pockets with someone else's money, well then, bully for you.
Do not assume that you can text somebody randomly in the middle of the day, what are you doing? Or text them at midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
That worked for me.
Me too.
Oh, really? Screen 5. If you're getting text after 10 p.m., you know what it's for, and he wouldn't be doing it if it didn't work.
2 out of 3 times. 2 out of 3 times. 2 out of 3 times.
So if you didn't make a plan earlier in the day, or better yet, a day or 2 or 3 in advance, I'm not interested. I don't want to hang out anymore, because that ship has sailed.
And it's about to spend another 9 years at sea getting harpoons rammed up its poop deck. Space Ghost.
I know it's not rocket science, but men of 2020,
When did the current year become a substitute for reasons?
it seems like it's pretty difficult for you to figure out. And I'm not a feminist, so please don't take this as a feminist rant.
Well, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it probably tastes damn good with plum sauce.
I love men. I think men are great.
I'm sorry, what?
Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country. A lot of men are trash.
Contradictions like this make my Twinkie soft, just saying.
Because I think there are a lot of really great guys out there who need a little help. And I don't think that there are a lot of women that are stepping up and saying these things.
Bullshit! The internet is saturated with the tears of women crying about the exact same things.
Men are pigs! What happened to all the good men?
We have become so desensitized to this bullshit, we just don't care anymore.
You're the ones who created this crazy catastrophe, and while you were blaming everyone else, gangrene set in, and instead of seeking help, you tried to use semen to treat the wound. You don't get to complain when you no longer have a leg to stand on, Circle Walker.
You can't demolish a building and then bitch when the fucking bathroom is out of order.
Quite frankly, I don't think that there are a lot of women that aren't raging feminists, that don't look like Lena Dunham. They're saying these things to you.
So you think, because I would butter your tonsils like toast, somehow what you say means anything to me? And I'm supposed to accept all of this blame and shame as fact? Quality men, you know, the ones that you want to date and marry? They don't play that shit.
I am really so sick of my friends having to deal with trash men.
Oh, so now we're back to being trash again. Well, baby, I thought you loved me. Wah.
Value. Okay? Value. Take that in. Just repeat it to yourself until it makes sense.
Baby, I'm gonna save you the embarrassment.
Too late.
Well, at least I tried. Attraction with men and women is not symmetrical no matter how much you want it to be.
Men are not attracted to the same things women want. If we were, we'd be chicks.
A dude looking to get married is kind of like him hosting a potluck barbecue. He tells everyone he's gonna make barbecue ribs and they're going to be delicious. Then a woman shows up at the barbecue. She has her own ribs and they're covered with 69 different types of horseradish. I don't need your nasty ass white chunky covered ribs. I'm gonna throw up. Why don't you just show up with some corn or potato salad or maybe some fruit salad? Something that I haven't already provided. You need to complement the main course, not fight for space with it.
If you want to mix in people like me and people like my friends who are go-getters, who work really hard, who make their own money, who are talented, skilled, ambitious, please don't mix us in with the Tatianas.
A rich, successful, ambitious woman is always looking for the next best thing. And Miss Lahren, well, she proves this herself. April of this year, she broke off an engagement with a top shelf dude who provided her a $50,000 engagement ring. What an idiot. And why did she back out? Well, because she wasn't ready to settle down. This dude has the mark of the beast, and he's running as an independent for Congress, and if he gets elected, well, his potential is limitless. She had the unicorn by the balls, stroking its shaft, and she threw it back for a better deal? Less than 4 months later, we get this video. Shocker, want to smell it?
No.
And quite frankly, we take it as an insult if we find out that you are also talking to 5 Tatianas who have nothing going on. People like me and my friends are going to be insulted by that.
I don't give a tiny rat's ass what you find insulting, honey. You gave up that privilege.
So if you want that kind of a girl, the kind of girl who's just kind of happy, going through the motions of life, not really super ambitious, hasn't really found herself yet, doesn't really have a whole lot going on other than she's pretty, please just go after them.
They are, and that's why you're complaining. Men, they just want to be wanted and needed. It's not that complicated. Women with stuff going on who think their time is worth more than anyone else's, they're not worth the paper that the marriage license is printed on. And if you don't wake the fuck up, the only time you're gonna sign one of those is as a witness.
There's a lot of women out there that I know that are my good friends who have amazing jobs, who work really hard, but who can't seem to find a decent guy, even if they go up in age 5 to 10 to 15 years, because those guys all want to be with 21-year-olds who have nothing going on.
Of course they do, because they're fertile. And they haven't procrastinated their lives away for shit that men don't want nor do they need. When 100% of women are competing for 14% of the men, and you want to wait 10 or 15 years before you start the race to go after these men, it's already over for you. All of those Tatianas that you hate so much, you gave them a decade head start and they've already won. You're still at the starting line, sucking your thumb and picking your ass with the other one, and occasionally you're switching.
It's very unfortunate. I don't think it's going to be fulfilling.
Who the hell are you to judge what's fulfilling? You took a top shelf dude and poured him down the drain so that you could binge drink Boone's Farm. You're not exactly the most reliable source of advice.
There's something wrong with my brain?
Oh, yeah.
Life is too short and precious to waste it all at work, in debt, and stressed out. One day we're all gonna die, so decide now if you want to start living life or continue wasting your existence as a wage slave while the stress from it mercifully ends it all prematurely with a heart attack. Learn how to get out of debt and get your financial act together at the Clarey Online School of Economic Philosophy with this course on minimalist living. It's pricey, but ask yourself what truly living your life is worth to you. A link is in the description.
But I would say to the men out there, kind of maybe find a woman that you can talk to, communicate with, might actually have her shit together.
Are you actually saying you're smarter than a 21-year-old woman who has everything that you want? I'm just asking for a friend.
Those women out there are going to be a lot more fulfilling to you. You're actually going to enjoy your time. And if you actually might want a sustainable and healthy and stable relationship, that's probably the kind of girl you're going to need to find.
You know, you and Amy Horton should get together and compare notes and, compare STIs. Space Ghost. Miss Lahren, you sound exactly like an article we tore apart on this show. Links in the description.
The next thing on my list is this: consistency.
Really? You're going to lecture me on consistency. Did you hear that, Blake?
Yeah.
Cheers. Good luck! Miss Men Are Trash. I love men. Men are great. Oh, men are trash. All within the past 8 minutes.
Now, if you want to be inconsistent and you want to ghost and you want to fall off the radar, that's fine, but I'm going to give you a pro tip.
Oh, you know all about the pro tip, if you know what I mean. At least that's what the stripper at the bachelorette party called it. Screen 5.
People like me and people like my friends, we aren't going to really give a shit after that. We don't really care. The F's have been given and we're kind of done.
Cue the 15-minute rant with notes that proves how much you don't care about this. Oh, no, it doesn't bother you at all. Never gave it a second thought, Space Ghost.
Once you turn us off, we don't care anymore. So let that be a warning to you.
You're issuing an ultimatum before the suitor even darkens your door. Why don't you tell me how that's going to work out for you? You better buy yourself some ice cream and boxed wine because your calendar's wide open, kind of like your legs in college.
Excuse my language. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch.
Sounds to me like someone here needs to take their own advice.
If you haven't failed and you lost a woman of value like myself or my friends...
Yeah, you see, there's your biggest mistake right there. You don't get to assign your own value. That is called narcissism right there.
Now don't get me wrong, ladies, confidence is a good thing. But while sex may be a seller's market, marriage is a buyer's market. Always has been and always will be. So remember that while you're trying to pawn off rental cars for Ferrari prices. And then getting butthurt when dudes hit it, quit it, park stop it, neutral slam it, run it through all the gears, flip it over, bend the frame, and then leave it in a ditch dripping fluid from the radiator and tailpipe because all you're worth is a joyride and nothing more. Weh?
Don't be butthurt. You did it to yourself. Okay?
Remember this, gentlemen? The woman who threw back the unicorn that she had by the balls because she wasn't ready to settle down is now saying it's all your fault.
And it's no longer my problem. Now, it's become a personal problem of yours.
Man, this woman is elevating her psychological projection to an art form. There is a social scientist out there who's masturbating to this, I'm just saying.
That's not me being a bitch. That's not me being difficult. That's me having a standard.
And you're not gonna lower that standard for anyone, at least for the next 8 years. Once you hit the magic age of 35, your standards are gonna drop so low, you're gonna be standing in line at the sperm bank screen 5. I don't care how much money you have. No amount of money bought back squandered fertility or 1 second of wasted time.
I do have high standards and high expectations. My friends have high standards and high expectations. Do you want to know why? We've worked for those.
No, you didn't. You hit the genetic lottery and bought into a girl power lie. That's not work. That is luck and stupid combining their power to create a mega slut.
We work hard. We're successful. We take care of ourselves. We try to look cute.
Oh, we're back to this. Who are you trying to convince? Us men or yourself?
That's why we have the ability to be somewhat what you call difficult. It's not difficult. We just have a baseline standard.
Oh, this is a bedtime story, right? No wonder I feel so sleepy.
Absolutely, Tommy. You are allowed to have whatever baseline standards you want, and no one can take that away from you. But at the end of the day, you don't get to decide whether or not you're difficult. The men you're trying to pigeonhole into a subservient position do. And if they can get someone 10 years younger who is 10 times more agreeable and performs 10 out of 10 head as her baseline standard, guess who's dying alone? Weh.
In order to have a shot with a girl like me or girls like my friends, girls that are worth a damn, you don't really have to be Brad Pitt. You don't have to be famous. You don't even really have to make a lot of money.
Wow! Now she's just flat out lying. Holy shit.
You don't need money to get a chick like me because I'm different and I love you, even though you're trash. You just have to jump through hoops and be absolutely perfect with a hammer over your head because if you fuck up, you're gone.
You can handle a woman with standards. That's not going to turn you off. And you're going to put in the effort to be with somebody like myself or my friends. We deserve that.
When you demand loyalty and respect before you earn it, well, you get neither. You don't deserve it simply for existing, so pound some sand.
It will be a cold day in hell when I chase a man.
I know you don't want to hear this, Tommy, but that day is coming all over your face, and it'll be here before you know it. So I hope you brought a scarf, some snow pants, and some good booties. Wah. You want to be the woman on the pedestal where men flock to you, and in return, you're the opposite of Star Trek. The opportunity to go where every other man has gone before. Cheers.
Not one single man on planet Earth, okay, that is worth making any woman feel like she is not good enough.
You hear that, gentlemen? Every woman is better than you simply because she's a whammon. So you better get your act together and man up, right?
Right.
Here is a simple litmus test for anything that pretty women say. Type it up, have a dude read it, and if it sounds stupid, it is.
This is a PSA for all the women out there, all the girls who think they're women, but they're really just girls.
This is going to be the summer of canceling girls.
This is going to be the summer of canceling girls.
This is going to be the summer of canceling girls.
This is going to be the summer of canceling girls.
All my friends are attractive. All my friends are successful.
All of my friends have something going on.
Almost every single one of them have an issue with women.
It is not just the girls in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas.
And they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
In the age range of about 20 to I think about 55, maybe even 60.
Pepperidge Farm gets a few of them too, and they remember.
A lot of women are trash.
A lot of women are trash.
A lot of women are just trash.
A lot of women are trash.
A lot of women are trash.
Say it with me. Men do not want a pen pal.
Men do not want a pen pal.
Please don't mix us in with the Chad Thundercocks.
Tyrones or Pookie and Ray Rays.
If that's what you want, find them.
And quite frankly, we take it as an insult if we find out you're talking to 5 other Chad Thundercocks
who have nothing going on.
Those chicks want to be with 21-year-olds who have nothing going on. It's very unfortunate. I don't think it'll be fulfilling.
Once I'm turned off, and I don't care anymore.
We have the ability to be somewhat what you call difficult.
It's not difficult. We just have a baseline standard.
And if you can't meet that standard, that's okay.
A lot of women can't.
Let us know you can handle a man with standards. That's not going to turn you off, and you're going to put in the effort to be with someone like me or my friends.
We deserve that, and we will not lower our standards.
It'll be a cold day in hell when I chase a woman.
It'll be a cold day in hell when I chase a woman.
It'll be a cold day in hell when I chase a woman.
You get nothing, you lose. Good day.
Enough, I get the point.
With that being said, Miss Lauren, Tommy, or whatever the fuck your name is, I'm out of booze. And I think I am done with you and all your friends. Not that I would know anything about that. Space Ghost. I go in there and take a dump because you blew the building.
Because you blew the building up, you bitch.
Well, I need to get in there and take a dump.
I need to take a shit.
Whose fault is it? I need to take a shit. Whose fault is it?
What? It's your fault. You set the charges and blew up the building, but it's still your fault. It's patriarchy. Wait.
I have to shit.
Shit.
Go in the bushes.
How about you shit before you blow up the building next time? But you shit or get off the pot.